Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia Marie and today we're going to be talking about a very important topic that a lot of people don't like to think about until they're older, but it's actually counterintuitive because the younger you think about it, the more successful you'll be. In my channel, I like to talk about growing up and some of the really important topics or concepts that you don't really learn in school. So today the topic is retirement. Retirement is something that a lot of people don't like to think about. The sooner you start, you'll be a lot more successful. Some of the richest retirees are the people that start investing in their retirement when they're very young, and I really want to help you get to this point. My goal in this video is to be a really great resource for anyone that is teenage age, in your 20s. I really want it to be a beginner's course where you have all the information that you need in one place. There is a ton of information that goes into retirement investing, but you really only need to know the basics to get started. And I know that when I started researching this, I would find little bits of information here and there. There really was never a video or an article that I felt I read and I understood all the reasons why I really needed to start investing sooner. I'm sure if I would have read that when I was younger, I would have been really inclined to invest early because I would have known all the information, and once you know some of the calculations that I'm going to tell you, you'll think, why shouldn't I do this? It's probably the dumbest mistake that someone can make is not invest early. And I don't even think it's a mistake. I think it's just a lack of knowledge. So I really want to inform you. Something I really believe is that information is wealth. All the wealthiest people, it seems like they kind of always have like a leg up, you know? They know something that the rest of us don't know. And I'm not saying that this is going to make you rich anytime soon. This is definitely something that you need to invest in for the long haul, but it's really going to help you as you get older. And when you're retired and living the good life in 2070, you'll really appreciate your younger self, that you took the time to actually be responsible with your future and how you will have an income when you can no longer work. Please hit subscribe. I have a goal of reaching 1,000 followers maybe within the next year and a half. I'm not really sure. I don't have a cap on it, but it would really help me out, and it would be a great motivation for me to keep gathering all this information in one place and posting these videos for you so you have an excellent resource as you're growing up and transitioning into adulthood. Also, hit the bell if you would like weekly advice sent right to you within your notifications. I have gone through some life things such as getting married. I have moved out of my parents' home. I pay my taxes. I contribute to my retirement. I think that I'm a little more ahead of the game than some of my peers, and that's okay because I really want to give you the information that you need in the most clear, simple language as possible so it's really easy for you to understand. And I think that you can relate to someone that is still your age a little more than someone who's already 40. Today we're going to talk about why it's very important for you to invest in your 20s. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. I have a little list right here and I'm just going to kind of break this down so that it's following a very concise, clear pathway. So first, we're going to be talking about the importance of investing in your 20s. Second, I'm going to explain some of the basic retirement ideas. I'm mostly going to focus on the benefits of the Roth IRA, but I will explain some of the other retirement funds that are available to you. Fourth, we're going to talk about where you can open up an IRA. And if you're with me for the long haul, I'm going to explain to you how you can be a millionaire as a retiree. Okay, so I don't want to waste your time. I know you really just want the information, so let's get to it. Okay, so number one, why is it important to invest while you're young? Well, the obvious reason is financial security, because you have no idea what your situation will be financially as you are ready to retire. Usually the typical retirement age is 65. Anything before that is an early retirement, and anything after that is considered a late retirement. So 65 is kind of the average age. You really don't know. You could get involved in entrepreneurship and become a millionaire, or you could have some really tough financial burdens on you. For example, if you get in a car accident that really racks up your medical bills, that's something you would never expect to happen. Having a retirement fund gives you the security you know you need in order to live off of and to be able to pay your bills as you are no longer able to work. The truth is that medical advancements are getting a lot better, and we have no idea how long that you're going to live. Granted, we're not probably going to live until we're like 150, but we probably will live a little longer than our parents. And while this can be really great, it also means that you need to save and be prepared for this. Okay, let's talk about Social Security. Social Security is money that you pay every single paycheck, and you pay a small amount of it. If you ever check your paycheck stubs, you will see that a small amount of your money is actually going to Social Security, and all of that is pooled basically together and then distributed out to elderly people in the form of a check. And this is how they have income coming in from the state to support their lifestyle. And it's a really great program, but the problem is that there are some issues with the national budget right now, and we cannot fully rely that we will be getting the full benefits paid out to us. Yes, we will probably still get some part of a check, but it is not going to be, I can't say it's not going to be, it most likely will not be as much as people are getting paid right now. And also, it was never meant to be your single income source, so you really should not completely rely on it. What I do is I don't even factor in Social Security when I think of my retirement. I think of my retirement fund as of right now. That's the only thing I'm investing in right now. Eventually, I would like to get into real estate, but we will talk about that later. When you're a young investor, it is the best investment opportunity, and this is because of one single reason, which I'm sure you've heard about. It is compound interest. If you don't know what compound interest, it is interest that builds on interest. Let's just say you have a 5% return on $100, and next year you'll have $105. The year after that, you will have 5% of 105, and that's how it builds off of each other. If you've ever seen the graph of it, it starts out slow and steady, and then towards the end, in the last couple of years, it skyrockets up because the interest is building on such a higher number compared to the number it was building on over here, if that makes sense. These graphs really show why when you invest while you're young, it's very important so you can get to that point of insane growth, because if you start later in your life, you will get to that point, but maybe not until you're 80 or 90. In that point, you're probably not going to be here anymore. So if you start later in your life, you're not going to get nearly as much money, and I will explain some examples of that in the end of this video. I'm going to add a tool in the description that you can calculate the amount of money you can make in a Roth IRA if you start investing at 20 years old versus 25 versus 30, and so on. Another reason why it's so important to invest young is understanding the concept of investing a little bit while you're young versus a lot while you're older. And I found this example on Investopedia.com, and I found it very interesting, and it'll kind of give you a little bit of perspective and understand what I'm talking about when I say it's very important to invest a little bit while you're young and rather than a lot more while you're older. So I just wrote it down here. If you spend $100 for 40 years with the 12% return, you would get $1.17 million for investing $100 a month for 40 years. 30 years later, if your friend started investing $1,000 per month with the same 12% return, and she did that for 10 years, she would only get $230,000. And that is even with her investing 10 times more than you. Granted, that is a very high rate of return. You would have to have some great investments for something like that, but that's just crazy to me that, yes, she started 30 years later, but she invested 10 times more than you, and she only made $230,000, and you would technically be a millionaire. That is crazy. And that's why it's so important to invest while you're young. The payoff is going to be so insane compared to someone who starts later in life. Okay, number 2, we're gonna talk about the retirement basics that you need to know. The two main different ones are a 401k and an IRA. And the main principle of both of them is that while money is compounded into this fund, it will not be taxed. But before or after, depending on the fund, your money will be taxed. So let's explain a 401k. A 401k is the typical retirement savings plan set up by an employer that you're probably thinking about. The big pro to this is that it's all set up for you. You don't really have to do much. You probably won't even realize that the money is being taken out because it is automatically taken out of your check. But a big con to this is that you have a lot less investment options, and you don't really get to singly choose a certain company that you want to invest in or a certain fund, they kind of give you a few options and you get to decide, but there's not nearly as much flexibility as if you were to invest in an IRA. 401ks have 2 tax breaks. The first one is a pre-tax contribution, which means that it is deductible from your taxes that year. Let's say you made $50,000 one year and you invested $1,000 into a retirement fund, you can deduct that as if you only made $49,000 that year. The second tax break is called tax deferred. This is when the interest that is growing in your account does not get taxed until you do take it out. So it really is a benefit to you, but you do still have to pay taxes while it is taken out. A huge benefit of a 401k is if your employer offers you a match, which means every dollar that you put in, let's just say your employer offers you a 1-for-1 match, so every dollar you put in, they'll put in $1 too. That is a very, very, very important thing to understand and ask while you sign up for your retirement plan from your company, because it is basically free money, especially if it's $1 for dollar. Other options are 50 cents per dollar, so every dollar you invest, they will put in 50 cents, but that is still amazing and it's a great opportunity that I would definitely look into in your company that you work for. The limit for a 401k starting this year, which is 2020, is $19,500, and this rose $500 up compared to last year. Last year was $19,000. And this is because the price of living is definitely increasing, and so they recognize that people may want to put more money away for their future to be able to pay bills and be able to pay for themselves and take care of themselves. A big con of the 401k to keep note is that your money is basically locked up until you're 59 and a half. If you take money out of it before you're 59 and a half, there will be a huge penalty, which is 10%. That may not sound like a ton, but 10% of $500,000 is $50,000. That is a lot of money, and it's highly recommended that you never take it out of 401k unless you absolutely need to and it's an emergency. Okay, now let's talk about IRAs. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. It is for working people and non-working spouses. It's also really great for people that are self-employed, and one of the only ways you can invest for your retirement if you are self-employed, because you do have no employer offering you a 401k, you kind of need to take care of it yourself. One of the benefits to IRAs is that you have many, many more investment options that are open to you through a mutual fund broker. The max contribution that you can make every single year is $5,500. There are 2 different types of IRAs. The first one is called a traditional IRA, and that is very similar to a 401k, where you get the same 2 tax breaks, one in the beginning, and then while your money is in the fund and it's growing interest, it will not gain any taxes, but then once you take it out, you will have to pay taxes. So that is a traditional one. It is not available to everyone, so definitely check and see if it's available to you. There are some stipulations that are clearly stated online. And then there is the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is our focus today. It is the almighty to young 20-year-olds that don't have a full-time job yet, are not offered a 401k through their job, maybe because they work at Target only for a few months or they work at Starbucks. Now, Roth IRAs are very, very beneficial to young people, and this is because there's only one tax break, and that is actually after you contribute. So first of all, when you contribute the money, that money is not tax deductible. When you pay your taxes, you are going to have to pay taxes on the money that you invest. So when we talked about the 401k or the traditional IRA, I explained that if you got paid $50,000 and you put $1,000 towards your retirement fund, you'd only need to be taxed on $49,000 because you conduct it. That is not the case with a Roth IRA. You do need to pay taxes on it, but then afterwards, you will never have to pay taxes on that money again. So while it's gaining interest, you will not need to pay any taxes on it. And then when you take it out and actually start to use it, you do not need to pay any taxes on it. And this is really beneficial because you most likely are in a smaller tax bracket right now due to making less money right now versus what you'll be when you're older. So if you're using a 401k or a traditional IRA, something to note is that your income could be a lot higher, which will put you in a much higher tax bracket, and it's going to force you to pay more taxes once it's time to actually take that money out and use it. But with a Roth IRA, let's just say you're in the 25% tax bracket, it was taxed at 25% while you're young, and you never have to worry about it again. It can grow freely forever and ever and ever. Something really great that you can take advantage of is being able to contribute to a Roth IRA and a 401k at the same time. This is completely possible. I know that there are some stipulations, so just look out for those, but for the most part, you can contribute to a Roth IRA while you're contributing to a 401k through your company. With the Roth IRA, you can take the money out at any time without any penalty. The thing is that you cannot take the money that was accrued through interest. So any interest that accrued during that time while it was sitting in that fund, you cannot take that interest out, but you can take the initial contributions out. So if I were to put an order of importance when it comes to retirement, I would 100% start with the 401k if your employer has a employee match, and that's mainly because that's free money. You really didn't need to work anymore for that money, especially if it's a dollar for dollar. That's amazing. Definitely take advantage of that. I did forget to mention that a lot of employers have a limit to this match that I'm talking about. Make sure that you are contributing the max of the limit that your employer sets for you in order to get the biggest benefit that you can and to get as much free money as you can going towards your retirement fund. Number 2 would definitely be the Roth IRA. I think that it's a really great option for young people that are in their 20s that still are in college or just working a little bit but haven't been working at a company long enough in order to receive benefits. So I really think that that would be the order I would go in, and I would really recommend for any of you guys that want to be financially successful. Okay, now we're going to talk about how you can actually open an IRA. You can open a Roth IRA through mutual funds or brokers or banks, but the number one option that a lot of people talk about doing is a low-cost mutual fund. That is online companies such as the Vanguard Group, the Charles Schwab Corporation. I invest with the Vanguard Group. I know that that is one of the original low-cost mutual funds, so I felt very comfortable putting my money with them because I know that so much money is going to go towards them. I really thought it was important to choose a company I felt comfortable with and that I knew that they wouldn't lose my money or nothing sketchy goes on because a ton of people trust them and they have got a lot of great reviews. So I thought that the Vanguard Group was a great option for me, and it has one of the best prices, especially when it comes to ETFs, which I would love to talk about in a different video. Yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in this. I would like to show you the actual process of buying an investment from Vanguard. Vanguard doesn't have the most user-friendly interface, I think. It gives you a lot of information, a lot of advanced information that I do not need to know. I just need to know the basics. There was never a video I could find that I could watch and they would show me exactly the steps you need to take in order to actually invest. Like, I want to go on the computer screen, I want to show you exactly what I do so that you feel really comfortable. But let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. If I do that in the future and you're watching this video in the future, I will link that in the description and you can look. But if there is no link in the description, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in and I'll definitely make that video for you. If you don't want to have as much responsibility with your investments and you would like to go a more automated route, robo-advisors are a great option for you. It's basically like an online robot that will give you a portfolio based off of your demographics, such as your age, how risky you are and how risky you're willing to be for max profit, or if you're just a little more conservative and you don't want to be as risky with your investments. Some examples of robo-advisors are Betterment, M1 Finance, and Acorns. I know Acorns is very popular with young people, especially because the whole premise of it is that you are rounding up to the nearest dollar whenever you spend money. So let's just say I go to a grocery store and spend $59.95. That 5 cents will be added to your retirement fund. And it is important to know with Acorns that when you start Acorns and you're just initially investing, you are investing, but you are not investing in a Roth IRA. You need to go to the section in the settings called Acorns Later, and that is actually a Roth IRA. And the only problem that I see with robo-advisors is that you don't have enough information. It's like, while Vanguard, I know, has a little bit too much information for me, that's a little advanced, that can be kind of confusing. With robo-advisors such as Acorns, they don't give you enough information. You don't know a ton about where your investments are going, at least my experience with it. And I personally choose Vanguard because I wanted to know exactly where my investments were going. I wanted to choose the technology sector, I wanted to choose a healthcare sector, and then I wanted to choose the basic ones like a S&P 500 or the total bond market index. that was just something, that was a personal choice for me. Another thing with robo-advisors is there is a 0.25% management fee, and so that happens every single year. And while I knew that didn't sound like a lot at all as of right now when I don't have a ton of money in my retirement fund, later once interest accrues, I knew that that would definitely add up. So that is why I chose ultimately not to go with a robo-advisor. But it is a really great option for you if you absolutely don't feel comfortable with investing and you don't feel comfortable with the responsibility of choosing where your investment goes, and you really just want to be passive and not really think about it that much, then it definitely is a great opportunity for you. Now to the fun part. Let's talk about how you can become a millionaire with a Roth IRA. So I found this really great tool. It's on bankrate.com. I put it in the description box below so that you can enter in your age. But I just wrote down some examples. I did an 18-year-old, a 21-year-old, because that's how old I am, a 25-year-old, and a 30-year-old. So you can see the difference. So I just wrote them down here. We're gonna say the condition is that you contributed $5,500 every single year. That is the max Roth IRA contribution rate right now. So we're gonna say that you put all $5,500 in every single year. You got an average of a 7% return, and you took it out when you were 65 years old. And we're also going to think that you are in a 25% tax bracket as of right now when you are putting that money in. So the 18-year-old, when she or he took the money out of her Roth IRA when she was 65, she will have had a total of $1,937,486 with only contributing $258,000 and $500,000. So that is the only amount that she contributed it at, and at 65 that money would be worth, again, $1,937,486. So that's insane. When at a 21-year-old, so if I continue to max out my Roth IRA every year, when I am 65 years old, I will make $1,566,121. My total contributions throughout those years would only be $242,000, which is insane to me. If you invest when you're 25 years old with the same conditions, the maxing out the Roth IRA, 7% return, and taking out when you turn 65, you will have made $1,174,853 with a total contribution of $220,000. And then this is really insane. If you start when you're 30 years old, so a lot of people don't even think about retirement when they start when they're 30 years old. But let's just say you're 30 years old and you have the same condition, you will have only made $813,524. That is $1 million less than if you started when you're 18. And the difference of contributions are only around, I think, 60 or 70,000, because if you're 30 and you invest until you're 65, your contributions will have only been $192,500. So that just kind of shows that when you're 18, if you can invest now, you will be golden when you retire. But if you're in your lower 20s, which I assume you are because that's what it says on the title of this video, you will do really well, but you just need to start. Start now. Go on Vanguard tonight or a robo-advisor tonight. You guys just need to do it. Take the plunge. Take the leap. Don't wait till next year. 1 year even will make a huge difference. If I would have started this 3 years ago, I would have had a little more than $300,000 in my retirement fund if I just started 3 years ago. So really, your time is money in this case. This is such an amazing investment opportunity, and you really need to take advantage of this if you want to be successful when you retire. I know I want to be successful. I know you guys want to be successful. That's why we're all here. We really want to move forward, and I hope my channel can help you out more with concepts like this. I find them really interesting, and I would love to be like a one-stop shop for younger people who are just confused about some basics and just need a little help along the way. I would really love to be that resource for you. So please subscribe if this type of resource is something that you think you would like to have sent to your inbox or sent to you through notifications. I would really appreciate that. And this information is valuable for you too, so it's a two-way street. You help me out, I will do my research, and I will definitely help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video brought value to you and that I wanted to make this video the video that I wish I had when I was 18 years old or even last year. So I really hope that I did that for you, and I plan on doing that a lot more on my channel, hopefully on a weekly basis. Again, my channel name is Alicia Marie, that's me, and I hope you had a great time hanging out with me today. I hope to see you guys soon. Next week I'll make another video, and I want to see you then. Thank you guys, have a great day, and stay thriving.